It is said that in God's final visitation to the Egyptians, that Pharaoh's magicians were able to reproduce the first two plagues. The question before us today is, why would God allow them to reproduce the plagues if the plagues represented God's judgment? God were pushing the Egyptian to a limit where Pharaoh's art would be so hardened that his glory might be displayed tenfold. It was nothing less and nothing short but a war between gods, that all may know that there is a limit to God's forbearance. Likewise today, men have elevated themselves at the height of divinity. They have created devices that controls or modify weather. They are now able to do that which Satan himself has never been able to do, reading man's heart, man's thought. They have created devices that can rejuvenate cells and regenerate cells to lead man to immortality. They have created an AI God and a self-proclaimed God. All just like in the days of old, with the very approval of Yahweh, that his glory may be displayed once again tenfold. Little did they knew that they were adding to the cup. They are now adding to the cup. I have stopped by today to let you know that the cup of iniquity is almost full, awaiting for a national Sunday law to run it over. And only then will we see whose God is in control. Once again, there is a limit to God's forbearance, and when men will trample upon God's law, make it of none effect, they would have reached the point of no return. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels, "Go your way and pour out the vials of the wrath of God upon the earth." And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. Men have made self a god, but no longer they will be able to look at themselves in the mirror with that plague to display their deeds or even take another selfie. And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of water, and they became blood. And I heard the angel of the waters say, "Thou art righteous, O Lord, which art and wast and shall be, because thou hast judged thus. For they have shed the blood of the saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy." Imagine, friends, opening your tap to get some waters, to get water to cook food, and only blood comes out with its filthy smell. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and the power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. And men were scorched with great heat, and blasphemed the name of God, which had power over these plagues, and they repented not to give him glory. You have heard the word preached over and over, yet you have sided by your friends, your pastor, the majority, the Heritage Foundation. Now, call upon your friends, call upon your pastors, the majority, even the Heritage Foundation to save you if they are God. Or better yet, you chose Sunday over Sabbath. Now, let the sun itself save you from itself. And the fifth angel poured out his vials upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness. And they gnawed their tongues for pain and blasphemed the God of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them for the battle of that great day of God Almighty. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garment, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, It is done. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. And the great city was divided into three parts, and the cities of the nation fell, and great Babylon came in remembrance before God, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blaspheme God because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great. Beloved, I once heard someone told me that the plagues were greater than a baseball ball. But this is not even comparable, a baseball ball. What if this hail were greater, much greater than a big, huge rock falling from heaven? Job warned us. John warned us. And may I tell you the truth, the book of Job was written way before the Pentateuch, the books of Moses. So the truth was proclaimed to us from the beginning, because we serve a God who sees the end from the beginning, and he has prepared everything beforehand, as Job tells us, as it is written in the book of Job, as thou entered into the treasures of the snow, or as thou seen the treasures of the ale, which I have reserved against the time of trouble, against the day of battle and war. Job 38 verse 22-23. Great will be the day of the Lord, a day of darkness, only for those who are unprepared. You see, God allowed Pharaoh's magician to reproduce the first two plagues, but he will not allow the last day people to reproduce anything. As a matter of fact, he is saying to ARP, he's telling ARP and Project Bluebeam, why don't you match this if you can? He's telling NASA, why don't you match this if you can? He is telling the world elite, why don't you match this if you can? The question before us now, on whose side will you stand?